Well, this is going to be a new live stream because for some reason I had to. Apparently, this is going to be. This is what I'm pretty frustrated right now. I don't know how the hell YouTube isn't working through this kind of stuff. Well, here is Daniel. Thank you, and Brian. I don't know what the hell was going on with the last live stream. I guess I shouldn't schedule things like this because there's no go live button. I did it on my phone, and I guess you can't connect it to your phone and also to your laptop. I was in the studio. I was on my channel. I trust me. I checked everywhere. I don't know where the hell the go live button is. So I just made a new one. So anyway, trying to get through it. I'm trying to not be so frustrated because that was annoying. Because it's the first time I've tried that. So, anywho, here we are, everybody. Hello, everyone. Kasparl, Davey, Sam, Brian's here. Yeah, it looks like I have some research to do. I don't do live streams like a lot of other people, so this is like something that I gotta figure out, I guess, or something like that. Anywho, hey Ronnie. So welcome to the question and prompt series. Sorry that these things weren't working, but here we are now. So I guess put it in the past or something. But in the moment, I'm a little frustrated. So, anywho, I hope everyone is doing well today. I know it is evening time in the UK. I have a few friends from there in the chat, but how's everyone doing today? For July 2nd. Around this time, I was actually in the UK last year, and I kind of miss it because where I live, there are fireworks for the last 3 weeks in a row every single night at like 10 o'clock at night. So, anywho, try not to be a curmudgeon on the live stream thing and also on the fireworks. But man, I am, yeah, I'm tired of the weather too, Brian. It's like 500 degrees in Arizona. At least you can stand inside or at least have some kind of air conditioning. Yeah, like we're sweating in our houses because of the humidity. But anyway, it's way too hot everywhere. Looks like Ryan's has got to beat the computer with a pillow. Yeah, there's a good pillow fight. A little reference there. The Struth says hello. Hey. So yeah. So we're dealing with the heat right now. We're dealing with some other stuff, but let's talk about movies because of course that's why you're all here, not me complaining about other things. Wasn't actually horribly hot. No, it wasn't that bad this morning, Daniel. I guess it was nice this morning, but now it's starting to heat up a little bit. Sam says it's pretty good 1 year anniversary of meeting me. Yeah, in real life. Yeah, no, I wish I was over there right now because I would appreciate not having to hear fireworks every single day. So uh, I don't mind fireworks. I just think that they should be at events or in the middle of a field where nobody else is around. But that's just me. Anywho, Ronnie says it's gray and rainy in Boston. Thankfully, cooler today than it's been lately. Well, I'm glad it's cooler over there. Casparo, weather isn't bad, but AC isn't went out. Oh, geez, yeah. Well, stay safe, Casparo. So anyway, let's talk about movies. So I know a lot of you actually were here doing this all month for the question and prompt series, and I've always kind of wanted to start engaging with this more often. I guess this is the first hiccup where I'm going to try to start doing live streams each month at the end of the month, even though obviously it's July now, where I kind of culminate all of the question and prompt series stuff and go from there. So I just want to start doing that, and where I get engaged with you and have a little bit of a giveaway too. So throughout this, I actually have a list of all the people who wrote things down for the last 3 videos. So if you want to jump in on these in the future for people, I know a lot of you already have done this, but what you want to do is you want to engage with the question and prompts through the video and just share your thoughts or your memories with things. And then at the end of the whole month, I have a random number generator that I have on my phone, and then I will be giving away some things. So this week or this month, I guess, we're going to be giving away 2 movies. So here we go. Here are the 2 movies here that we're going to be giving out. Thelma and Louise, so the normal Blu-ray. And I know a lot of you are going to be like, well, the Criterion just came out. Well, here's the thing. I need to get rid of this. So so I hope somebody out there, will at least enjoy a Thelma and Louise. But the other thing is I also have Heat right here on 4K. Yeah, so I actually got an extra copy. And so I decided to give these two things away. So I'm going to be trying to take these two different things here, and I'm going to be doing a random number generator later on in the stream, kind of midway through, and then at the end we're going to do that. We're going to do the first one. We're going to do Thelma and Louise, and then we're going to be giving away Heat. So, but these are both Region A releases. Of course, one's a 4K that has the Blu-ray with it. But yeah, I'm going to start kind of trying to give Region A and Region B stuff as well. And I want to make sure that everyone in my audience, because I know I have a fair number of people who are in the UK that watch my videos as well. So, but anyway, I always love having both regions. And so anyway, that's a whole nother topic. Let's go back to the chat. Davey says 1 year anniversary of Nathan stealing pizza. I did steal pizza and beer from Davey, and it was pretty good Pizza Hut for Scotland, but an imprint Hammer Horror House of Horror gets him a pass. Yeah, right here. That's a wonderful set. I need to rewatch those probably in October. Holland Oates says, hey man, I hope you're doing well. Eddie says, hey, what's going on? Nothing much, man. Just dealing with computer troubles. Here we are. Ronnie says, I'll take it. Oh, I'm pretty sure that's the Thelma and Louise thing. Moose Ryan says, hey, oh, cool. Heat is one of my dad's favorite movies. And then saying, hey. So anyway, let's jump into kind of some of these things, these prompts that we've been doing. So I know that a lot of us probably cut a lot of it out if you've already commented on these videos, but I first want to talk about kind of what our favorite discoveries of the year so far were. So that's my question right now for you and everybody in the live chat. So what are some of your favorite discs, like first time watches that you watched this year? So I actually pulled up my letterbox up here in another tab. So I can talk about more movies that I discovered this year. I've talked about a lot of films in that first initial video of some of my favorites, and I even mispronounced something, right? Innismin is not how you say it, right? Right, Davey? Anyway, so some of my favorite discoveries this year so far, I'd say more recently, some of my favorite discoveries are I watched all of the Friday the 13th box set. So let me pull that out for a second. It is a big, nice little set right here. I finally watched all these movies. I have the bonus disc. That's why it's a little bit loose. So the bonus disc is in the other room, but I've been watching all these. It's summertime, so why not watch these for the first time? I've seen the first and I think the second and the sixth before I watched anything else, but I finally watched all of them, and it was just an absolute blast. I'm just going to keep this right here with me to reference this because it's much easier to handle. But anyway, I had a really good time with this. I remember back in the day watching the first video in a dollar movie theater that we had here locally. It's been taken over by a church now, which we have a lot of those, right? Anywho, that Palace was the place what it was called, and it was a really good time going to watch it with my friends. But at the time, I really did not like it at all. So I was not a fan of Friday the 13th. I wasn't really a fan of slashers in general, or kind of B movies in general. I would say I at the time was getting into Criterion, getting a little bit more into the Tarantinos, the Finchers, the McDonoughs and Bergman. Even I was just going that route more than I was for the fun things. So thank goodness I've gotten a little bit older and am now enjoying all the schlock and the slashers and all of the B movies. And of course, there's a lot of really great labels out there that do that. So anyway, I really love that about the Friday the 13th series, and it was a lot of fun. I probably should watch that with a group of people. I know Daniel in the chat, I've seen I think I saw one of the Friday the 13th movies with him. I may be wrong. I've seen a lot of movies with him, but regardless, and we're going to go back to the chat here. I'm going to ask everyone again, what are some of your favorite discoveries of the year so far? Make sure to say what some of your favorite first time watches are as we keep going. All right. So Caveman says, hey man, nice to see you. And I'm sorry about the other chat. I've tried to get that figured out, but I will figure it out sometime soon. Tim says, hey, nice seeing you, man. It's so crazy that I've met some people in this chat in real life. And in fact, actually, a good number of people in the chat I've met in real life, which is awesome, which is fantastic. And Davey says, having a Friday the 13th series on my bud Tyler's channel, I've done for a long time. Yeah, no, I feel like I'm late to the party on Friday the 13th. Film blogger Sam says After Sun, which I still haven't seen. I still have my edition over there. I have the A24 edition. Sacred Spirit, which all of us, our in our group chat, got on that really quick, and I love Sacred Spear. That was a really fun film. Ennis Men, of course, Frankenhooker are highlights. I haven't seen that one, but I know of it. Casparl says I got Seven from the library and watched that for the first time, and it was amazing. Yeah, Seven's incredible. And many times we're actually moving this tomorrow in my company, and people are just packing stuff up, and I keep asking them what's in the box, and they don't get the reference. But anywho, that's always a lot of fun. And make sure to Chris rock that like button for this cool groovy cat. I appreciate that, man. that's a hit. Will Smith, little joke there. Got the A24 Blu-ray. That packaging quality is but it's great. Yeah, the packaging is kind of all over the place with the A24. It's weird, but anyway, Daniel says, "So glad you're going on that journey through B horror, man. Even though I roast you on Letterbox ratings, he does. He harasses me in messages all the time, and but I appreciate it, man. And then I'm going to keep going with some of my other discoveries, and I'm going to come back to the chat. So make sure to list some of your favorite discoveries for the year, and we'll get to it. The other thing that I discovered, and I know a lot of people are doing this right now, is this box set right here, which I think just sold out or is about to sell out. The Arrow Video Enter the Video Store box set. This was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed this box set, and I had kind of a similar journey because I was watching this alongside kind of the Friday the 13th movies. So I was in a similar headspace, right? I was watching a lot of B horror movies. So I would say that Dolls is definitely the best film in this set. I hadn't seen any of them before but I've seen them all for the first time now. And I started off with Robot Jox, which was a lot of fun. Didn't know that I'm blanking on the director right now. I know it. Seriously, I just see him eating soup. I know exactly what that director is. It's just, and he also made Dolls. But Stuart Gordon. I got it before that Daniel said I remembered. But anyway, so Stuart Gordon films, I've only seen a few. I haven't seen very many. So I'm excited to watch that. I think I watched some Stuart Gordon with my buddies Chris and Daniel, actually. But anywho, regardless, this Aerial Video box set is really, really fun. If you get the chance to, or you haven't seen it yet, it's really good. So this set has a lot of really good stuff in it. So I'm gonna get back to the chat because I know a lot of people are answering stuff here. So let's look real quick here. Let's see, going back a little bit. Hollow says, so many to list, but Blowout and Dressed to Kill by De Palma were amazing. Yeah, both of those movies are incredible. Blowout might be my favorite film from De Palma. I think I need to get the 4K, honestly. It's really good. Eddie says, one of my favorite first-time watches of the year so far was The Apartment. Oh, that's a really incredible first-time watch. And you probably got the 4K, too, so hopefully that was a good one. So slowly watching more of Wilder's filmography. He's becoming one of my favorite directors. Billy Wilder was way ahead of his time. So yeah, I agreed. Holland says, hey to Tim. My movies Ryan says The Guest and JSA were favorites so far this year. Guest is a lot of fun, and we both had the same JSA journey. So I want to say thanks to Steph, who I think will be joining us later in the chat. But JSA was an incredible dig, and everyone needs to watch that. So anyway, Davey says, tomorrow I'll wake up and scald myself with tea and Ikari XB1 from second run from first time watches. I need to really that's the movie. I don't know why I was reading it like he was saying that. That's why it's all caps. So clearly I'm behind on the times. Everything's getting really expensive right now, and I need to just keep up. So Tim says, Eddie talk. The Apartment is so darn good. It covers stuff that wasn't talked about much at the time. Going back to here, Ronnie says, I love Flaming Ears, early 90s Austrian lesbian dystopian sci-fi shot on Super 8. Man, that sounds wild. It's on Criterion Channel and Kino, so that's awesome. Let's see. Cobwebs, I think my favorite discovery of the year is Secret Admirer from Kino Lorber. I need to watch more of my Kino Lorber discs. I am way behind on those, but I'm catching up. That's a problem we all have, right? Let's see. Going back down, Cellar Dweller is the best, according to Davey. I really like Cellar Dweller. It was a lot of fun. That was a crazy opening sequence, too. That was a wild time. Let's see. Tim says, I think Failsafe or One the Beach, maybe the best first-time watches I've seen this year. Both were fantastic and unexpected. Yeah, Failsafe is incredible. Not talked about enough. On the beach, not one. On the beach. I thought so. Reanimator is Gordon. Yes, so I've seen Reanimator too. That's a lot of fun. Okay. And then Casfarl says, my favorite first time watch is Rosemary's Baby. It's perfect. That's an incredible first time watch. I hate Polanski. So do I. But I saw There Will Be Blood at my local Alamo, which was amazing. Ooh, that's nice. Which they were playing it here in our local Alamo. So regardless, going back to kind of some of our favorite first time watches for the year so far, I'm going to go back in time a little bit because I know I just mentioned two box sets that I've been watching. I finally watched some of the films that were in my collection from the Eureka sets, right? So let me pull that out real quick. Let's see where it's at. That's what I got to find. Don't know where it's at, but I will talk about the films House of Horrors, Horror Island, and Night Monster. Those were a lot of fun. These horror films and Murders in the Zoo. It's somewhere around here. Maybe I'm just don't know where it's at, but I'll just show you what I'm talking about. These are the type of films I'm talking about. These box sets are really really fun. I should have had this out to begin with, but I did want to talk about each of these Eureka box sets that come out with these B movies from Universal from the 1930s, 40s, and 50s. Usually are a lot of fun, and I want Eureka to keep putting them out because they've been fantastic each time that people are putting them out. So anyway, with that being said, we're going to go back in time a little bit. I finally watched some of the films from last year, All Quiet on the Western Front. I finally watched and I finally caught up on, and they got all those awards. It was incredible. It's one of the better Netflix films that are out there. I'm glad that I have the 4K of it. It looks gorgeous. So if you don't have that, there's a really cool digipack of it that I really enjoyed as well. So anyway, let's kind of move from here. Let's see, Godland for the cinematography alone. Okay, yeah, I haven't seen Godland. And then Eureka's Universal sets are world class, says Davey. So I agreed. With this being said, let's do our first giveaway because I know that we'll be doing kind of that with all of the names here. So I have 54 people here that said different things, and so we're going to be giving away this right here, Thelma and Louise. So I'm going to be doing this randomly. So I know a lot of people who answered in the chat. I'm going to just have to answer them probably if they're not in the live stream themselves. But I'm going to be doing it that way. And then from there, I'll be going that route. So anyway, let's do a random number generator from 1 to 54 and go from here. And tell me about Thelma and Louise. Have any of you seen it? I know I got my 4K coming from Criterion soon. Has anyone seen the new 4K? I want to know kind of what it looks like, what people think so far of it. But anyway, random number generator. It says a random year generator, but that's not what I'm trying to do. So 1 to 54, and we're going to generate. It is number 5. I don't know if you can see that. Probably a glare, but number 5, which is Jacob Neff, who is actually a good friend of mine. I know him from Twitter, and he's also on YouTube all the time. If you're in the chat, you have won Thelma and Louise. So we're going to be giving that, sending it your way. If not, we'll figure something out. So, but yeah, this will go to you. So let's continue with the live stream. Let's take a little bit of a break from the question and prompt series and just kind of, see how everyone's doing. Does anyone have any questions for me? Or have any things that they want to talk about that has been going on in movies, or I'm just kind of interested in kind of what you guys are doing right now on a Sunday afternoon / evening wherever you're at. So with that being said, I lately have been trying to keep up with as much things as possible. I've been trying to watch all these box sets and also trying to not spend as much money because I'll take a small little side tangent, but there is, I feel like, money is starting to become a little bit of an issue in terms of, where we're spending things. So at least for me, I'm getting a lot more picky as I'm going throughout, my spending habits. And then also what I'll be doing soon. So with that, but that is another side topic that I think is really interesting. And as we approach all the movies that we keep owning or keep rebuying or whatever it is, I feel like it's maybe becoming a little bit more niche, in a way. So it's strange. Anyway, Kasparl says, "Do you like David Bowie?" I love David Bowie, and it was actually one of the few like celebrities that like affected me when he passed away. Yeah, I don't know why, but like it just really affected me. I remember where I was that day too. I was at the record store that I was working at, and it was right after Black Star came out, of course. And so, which is a phenomenal record. So if anyone hasn't heard Black Star, it's very good. It's avant garde, but it's really really good. So then Ronnie says your Criterion sales plans for the month. So I have actually already ordered 4 films. Well, 4 things. One of them is of course, the giant Pasolini box set. So that was pretty much the majority of my purchase. I already mentioned Thelma and Louise, and then I'll let the other two be a mystery, but for people who are going to be watching. But I don't plan on spending very much more on that. I might buy 1 or 2 more discs, but this month I'm trying to save up a little bit. I did just get fresh ink on my shin, and so I am trying to recover from that, and that's a lot of money. So anyway, Caveman says, "Stormy here." Yeah, I was going to say, I know it's probably, are you, Caveman, are you on the East Coast? Where are you at? Let's see. Brian says, "Are you collecting more than watching that you already have?" It's a little bit of both. That's what I think with the box sets. I want to definitely make sure that I am going the route to where I am watching as many things as I can before I buy. But a lot of these things, I think a lot of the times, and I think where I was kind of heading with the thing that I was just mentioning when in terms of being a little bit more picky as we're buying more things, is I feel like a lot of these things are very limited in terms of runs and editions. And that's the trap that I feel like I'm in now. Is I feel like, if I don't buy it now, if I don't pre-order it now, I'm going to lose it in some instance. And so I'm trying to free up that headspace to where I need to start figuring out, which ways I should do this. Right. I don't know if anyone else is experiencing the same thing. I know money is a little bit tight at the moment. So, but yes, I'm collecting probably more than I'm watching, even though I've been trying to watch as much as I can. Actually, I made a little bit of a mini challenge for myself. And so I don't know if anyone has heard of this yet, but I decided to try to watch 600 titles this year. And that could be shorts, that could be movies, documentaries, whatever. But that's what my plan is so far. And so far, I'm around 300, so I am around the mark. But that's mainly because of shorts, right? Shorts really saved my butt on that. But yeah, so I'm trying to watch as much as I can possible, but I'm just trying to balance it out and trying to save, even though I just pre-ordered a bunch because Arrow just put out a bunch of really cool things, and got to pre-order some things before they go away. FOMO is very real. All right, Davey says Vincent, Severin, and Arrow draining me this week. Oh, I know. I'm trying not to look at Vinegar Syndrome, even though there's a lot of things I want probably there, and Severin as well. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. Flashpoint, first time watch. Rip Treat Williams. I haven't seen Flashpoint, so I'm excited to check that out myself. So, but yes, rest in peace, Treat Williams, and rest in peace, Alan Arkin. I know Davey just talked about Alan Arkin on his channel, and that's just really sad because Alan Arkin is definitely one of the better actors, I guess, of our time. I loved Alan Arkin, and In-Laws is one of my favorite movies. So it's actually my best friend's one of his favorite movies of all time. So, and we don't talk about movies that often. So, yeah, when it comes up, right? See, Carsfarl says, "Do you have The Man Who Fell to Earth 4K Steelbook?" I got it, and the cover rules. I do have it, actually. It's over there and not in front of here because there's a lot of stuff in front of me. I lucked out. I actually got it in Kansas City when I was dropping KB off this last weekend. Actually, I could talk about that too this last weekend and talk about how much fun that was. But yeah, the cover absolutely rules. The back sucks. It's awesome packaging along the lines of Reservoir Dogs, Best Buy, Steelbook. Yeah. I'm not huge into Steelbooks, but that movie is really hard to find. So like I have to, I have to buy that edition if I run across it in some instance, in some form. I like the Criterion, but that's just how it goes. It looks like Caveman says he is in. Oh, he's in Kentucky, so 2 hours from Ryan. Okay, so about probably I don't know 6 or 7 hours, maybe 8 from me. I'm in Missouri, so there's that. Midwest, you know. Davey says watch the Millie's 2 Blu-ray set. You'll get 50 titles done. Yes, Alan Arkin's Little Murders. Yes, I have the Little Murders. I haven't seen it yet. I have it up here somewhere. Let me pull it. Where's it at? It's somewhere here, somewhere along in that. But that is a indicator that I want to watch. So I'm definitely excited to check out some more Alan Arkin films because there's a lot actually that I have on in my shelves. I probably have like 4 or 5 that I haven't seen from him with him in it. K-Man says limit the number of Lord of the Rings rewatches for the rest of the year so to meet your quota. I can't promise anything on that one. Anyway, have you gotten to watch anything out of that collaborations box set yet? Oh, so yes, this collaborations box set with Zhang Yimou and Gong Li. I have only seen Curse of the Golden Flower, and I think there's one other film in there that I've seen. But it's funny because I got that box set and I was gung ho about watching things, but I'm sure as many of you experience, we jump into things and we buy them, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, something's going on, and then you're like, I'll get to that. And then obviously box sets are, and then kind of daunting. I feel like when they're right in front of you, right? So that's what I've been trying to do is tackle as many boxes as possible. I'm still halfway through the Shot Scope Volume 2 box set. Martial Arts Month kind of just tapered off, which is kind of strange, but that's just how it goes, you know. So I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I think I just need to start sticking with more of the things that I want to set out, but also feel it for what I want to watch. So, but anyway, going back to here, let's see. Casperell says, "What's your latest movie you saw in the theater? For you, it's Spider-Man." Funny thing about Spider-Man, I actually watched the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, but it was like at 9:45 is when it started at night. That's a little too late for me. Usually I go to bed around like 10:30 or 11. So I definitely fell asleep and I watched 70% of the movie. I know that there's a cut, like how the ending, how it goes. I'm not going to spoil anything. But anyway, like I know most of it, but I need to rewatch it. So I messed up, but my friend messed up. They're the ones who bought the ticket. So anyway, the film that I most recently watched in theaters was actually the new Wes Anderson film, Asteroid City, and I had a really good time with that. I really liked it a lot, and it reminded me a lot of Grand Budapest. Definitely a lot more playful than I guess the last film he did was Isle of Dogs, and that was more stop motion, like more like Fantastic Mr. Fox. I wasn't as big of a fan of Isle of Dogs. It might be one of the weakest ones that I've seen from him. So it was good to see Asteroid City coming back to form for me. It's definitely a little bit more surreal because there was a lot of cuts between, I guess the fiction and nonfiction of the story. And if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But it's a really great movie. I definitely recommend watching Asteroid City in the theater. It looks gorgeous. There's a great cast, of course. It's Wes Anderson, but I'm really excited about Barbie. That's probably the most excited I am about a movie this summer. And then yes, I'll watch Oppenheimer as well. And I need to rewatch Spider-Man, of course. Anyway, going back to the chat. Let's see. Indicator no longer have the rights to Little Murder, so anyone who doesn't have it, Disney now have the rights back, so don't miss them. Yeah, shoot. Well, if you can find the Little Murders in some instance, definitely do so, or at least find yourself to watch it. So I'm just glad that I have it. So there's that. But anyway, I hope that Disney eventually does something with it, or at least gives it back to somebody. Movies with Ryan says Curse is the only thing I've watched as well. I'm just glad I own it. So it was a white whale. Oh yeah, it's a white whale of a disc, release. He's talking about the Zhang Yimou box set right here. It is definitely a big deal. In fact, a lot of imprint stuff is a big deal for some reason because they just put limited things. Like I was saying, I have a little bit of a rant from how if there's something big going on, limited edition wise, I feel like that's a little bit. I understand from the economic standpoint because, of course, like that it drives up sales because everyone wants it, right? But also at the same time, like these companies aren't making very much money off of these things, and so it's kind of hard not to do something limited like that because of just the raw materials and then getting all the extra features and yada yada yada. There's a lot of economic reasons why they probably do that, but at the end of the day, I wish that weren't there wa- it wasn't as much limited edition stuff because I feel like it's becoming a little too niche, and I like accessibility is a really big deal for me. And yes, I'm talking about that as somebody who's privileged to have all these things. So regardless, I'm not going to get on that that tangent there. Let's see. Ronnie says, "Have you gotten to the Sony Pictures Classic box set yet?" No, but it was that was the next thing I wanted to jump into. I think once I finish the Shawscope set and I have that bonus disc for the Friday the 13th, which is chock full. Yeah, that's a really good pun there, actually. Lots of really good special features with a lot of actors and directors and people who are involved in that. And so, anyway, the Sony Pictures Classic box set is something that I'm very excited to jump into, and I am going to be tackling it this year. So I think I just need to finish Shawscope and then go from there. Um, Davey says Indiana Jones on Friday was my most recent film trip. Safe as hell, most indie since Last Crusade. Yeah, that's what I'm watching that actually on the 4th, which is actually the most exciting thing that's going to happen on the 4th. Probably is I'm going to watch the Indiana Jones movie with my mom. But then again, I already know it's going to be a safe movie. I know it's going to be better than the 4th one, and it's probably going to be the 4th best Indiana Jones movie. I know some people don't like Temple of Doom, but I think it's underrated. It's definitely the 3rd best. But if I ranked them, I'm going since I already ranked them all. I might as well say Last Crusade might be number 2 for me, and then number 1 is the first. You know. So anyway, let's see. Isle of Dogs is my least favorite as well. Yeah, from Casfarel. And French Dispatch from Davey. Oh, that was the last thing that he did. I only liked about a third of that film. It just didn't hit as much, that Wes Anderson movie, French Dispatch. I really loved the Benicio del Toro. That was like the best sequence, I think, from that particular film. And, let's see. What's going back here? Asteroid City was terrific, but will win over no one not already a fan of Wes Anderson. It's definitely Uber Anderson. It's definitely more avant-garde in the sense, like it's definitely like one of the more indie just feeling movies, even though it's all-star cast. He's really well known. He like rides that line. It's weird. Let's see. Davey says waiting on the Gene Hackman box set from Imprint. I'm waiting for a lot of things from Imprint, but anyway, going back to here, Flashpoint can be seen on HBO Max. Okay, so I can watch that there. Yeah, so yeah, the Flashpoint, the new DC movie. I need to watch that as well. I'm just really far behind. Actually, this is going to be a subtopic, and then we're going to jump back into, talking about the prompts. But I think it's really interesting. I just have not been as motivated to go to the theaters lately. And I don't know what it is. It just comes in spurts. I feel like a lot of it has to do with what COVID did, and also just the amount of discs that we have. I just would rather watch something at home because I just feel like I would want to maybe save a little bit of money and time, because every time I go to the theater, I'm trying to go to the Alamo Draft House here or my local independent cinema, the Moxie, which is what it's called. That's where I watched actually Asteroid City, and I will spend money for food and whatnot and drinks, and so it's a little bit of a thing. So anyway, Caveman says Temple of Doom is a prequel. Yeah, I actually completely forgot that actually. Anywho, going back to this now, I know there's people influx of here. Let's jump back into the second prompt of the year so far. And that meaning, what was our favorite musicals, right? So I had a hot take from work a couple of weeks ago where people were talking about musicals and nobody was mentioning Singing in the Rain. And I'm like, Singing in the Rain is the best musical of all time. And of course, there's like Wizard of Oz. I would say even like Willy Wonka. Like, there's a lot of really great musicals, and everyone has their opinion. But I mean, like, I felt like objectively, I'm like, why are you leaving out Singing in the Rain? It's just so wholesome. It's so great. I don't understand. But anywho, that like prompted me to do that question and prompt series for the musicals. So let me know, actually, for you, everyone watching right now, what are some of your favorite musicals? You can go the Disney route too. I know, and I'm talking about like animation, like Tarzan or something like that. So that's totally fine. Just let me know what some of your favorite musicals. I'd love to hear kind of your thoughts on that. What those are. Let's see. Caveman says Last Crusade and Raiders, Temple, Dial, and Crystal. Yeah, so pretty much we just switched 1 and 2, right? So even though I haven't seen Dial yet. Speaking of Dial of Destiny, that sounds like a really dumb title. I don't know why, but I just don't like it. I just don't like the title at all. Oh, okay. Going back to Brian says, do you enjoy bloopers and deleted scenes that come with some movies? Some movie lovers are purists that don't care for that kind of stuff. I'm hit or miss, mostly miss for the, just depending on the movie. Because, like, if it's something that I really love, like I'll say, like, Jurassic Park or Spinal Tap, or, movies that I will rewatch over and over again. That kind of deleted scenes and bloopers, that stuff really hits because I love it, right? But, like, if I'm gonna watch, let's just say, Yakuza Graveyard, I don't think that has any bloopers on it, but I know that was the one of the Radiance films. Like, I'm not gonna be trying. If there were bloopers on there, I probably wouldn't care. So I don't know. It's just that there's not enough time. That actually, this makes me think of another thing, but I would say commentary is actually something that I really struggle with, because there's too many movies to watch for the first time, and so unless I really like it, I want to watch. I there's a lot of the times I won't watch commentaries, and I feel like every disc comes out with commentaries now, which is a great special feature. I'm saying don't take it away, of course. It's just not the thing that I really go to that often, which is really interesting. So going back to talking about our musicals here, Ronnie says, I love the songs from West Side Story. I'm assuming the original. Of course, the remake is actually really good too. So West Side Story is definitely both films are very, very good, and I really enjoyed them. I watched that for the first time in like grade school, so that was a lot of fun. Davey says, musicals, Phantom of the Paradise, which I saw that for the first time this year too. That was a really great first time discovery. Wow, what a wild movie! I love that. That one is a crazy, crazy movie. Great, probably a great pairing with Rocky Horror, right? Let's see, Little Shop of Horrors is also there. I still need to see it. I have it, but I need to watch it. I know. And Captain Invincible. Never seen that one, so I don't really know. Ronnie says Disney, The Little Mermaid, and Beauty and the Beast, the originals. Yeah, those are great too. So from the '90s, I'm assuming. And then we need a new release of Spinal Tap, says Cass Farrell. Agreed. I just have that Blu-ray over there. I would like to get the Criterion Laserdisc of that. That would be really cool to get. Caveman says Moulin Rouge, really didn't like it at first, but upon rewatches, so now I love it because I finally understand it. But hey, I'm slow. He's a caveman after all. No, honestly, Moulin Rouge, honestly, a lot of his films in general, I wasn't, Baz Luhrmann, I wasn't really big on until later in life. In fact, actually, musicals, I think I mentioned this in the video, musicals really were not a thing that I cared for. So it was really interesting to kind of rediscover that as I've gotten older. Kind of just a lot. I mean, in the similar headspace where I was watching a lot of these slashers, right? Like, I've just started to enjoy more things now. So the spectrum of the things that I want to watch are just expanding a lot. So um, anyway, I don't care for musicals, says Brian. I draw the line at Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and I have to admit I did watch Grease back in the day only because Olivia Newton-John was in it. That's totally fair, and actually that was pretty much and what I had just mentioned, Brian. Like, those are pretty much the only two movies that I had watched musical wise, like besides Disney movies, of course, that I cared about. Otherwise, I'm like, oh, Singing in the Rain, West Side Story, whatever. Like, I didn't really care for them at the time, but anyway. Davey says, love a commentary is when it's the right person, but too often it's the same few people doing them all. Yeah, so I don't know as much about that because, like, obviously, like I said, I don't follow it as much. So let's get back into this a little bit with the musicals. But yeah, I was going to say that was a lot of fun, kind of just jumping into those. Did I miss anything here in terms of comments? I think there's pretty much, we got everything right now. So let's jump back into the last thing, and then we're going to do our last final giveaway, and then we're also going to do just some questions and answers and just hang out for a little bit longer. So all right, so now we're going to be giving away the Heat. Where is it at? Heat 4K right here. But let's first talk about whether or not you are the movie person in your life, which I think I already know the answer. Are all of you the movie person in your life? If that's the case, tell me some, like, just briefly, some stories, and in the live comment section. I would love to hear some, like, awkward interactions, or, well, usually when people are like, what's your favorite movie, it's like, well, that's a really weird thing to ask, or like, what would you recommend, and then you would be like, okay, well, where do you want to start, or like, give me a genre, or give me a person, or an actor, or a director, or someone. That way I can help out, or at least I can, go to a space where I can help out a little bit. But yeah, it is hard being the movie person in some instances. Obviously, with what we're doing here, obviously all of us probably are the movie person, and I'm sure a lot of you have had similar experiences. But it is definitely weirder and weirder as time goes on because I had mentioned watching B movies more now, but luckily these are like bigger B movies. But for it's really funny thinking about like as we explore this culture of like physical discs and movies, we get like deeper and deeper into some weird movies. And I think it's really interesting because like people would ask like, what did you watch this week? And I'm like, this really weird, I don't know, 1960s sci-fi film that has some undertones. Maybe it's, I don't know, like maybe it's from another country or something, and it just really weirds people out. And like, why are you watching that? And just like, that's just how it goes, like as you just keep going through things, it's really, really fun. So I'm going to get back to here, but yeah, like share some of those memories that you have of that. I had a really fun time like looking at all the comments. I haven't responded to everybody yet, but yeah, it's been fun being the movie person, but it's also weird sometimes. It's really being weird sometimes being the movie person. Ryan's here, disconnected. Well, hello, beautiful. Hope all is well this weekend. It is good so far. Um, got tattooed yesterday, and so I survived that. So I'll probably have to show that as well. It's on my shin, but it'll be hard to manipulate that later. But it was a lot of fun getting that done, and then now I'm surviving, the fourth and this glorious hot weather that's going on here. K-Man says commentaries are great as long as the main actors or directors are great, which with the lighting guy and a girl number 57, not so much. Yeah, I feel like that's a lot of the times, at least with people who are involved with that. Usually it's either producers or, people like the girl number 57. Otherwise, it's not so great, or with other commentators. But anyway, Casperell says, yeah, it's pretty easy with the mood for love. In the mood for love being my favorite movie, I'll just say a Korean drama. Yeah, that's a great film. Let's see. Davis says 100% the movie person in my online life. Yes, we all live on offline actually, and online as well. Probably. That's like what should I get to eat? Yeah, I don't know if any of you have this problem, but for me, a lot of the times I am very much like, I, I this actually is a cross thing with the movie person thing. So somebody will come in here if they're like, hanging out or coming over here, and they're like, all right, what do we choose, right? I will usually be really direct and we'll find something in like 1 or 2 minutes. Usually, I will definitely be like, "This is what we're watching," or I'll give them like 2 or 3 options. I don't know what it is, but like I'm very decisive. I'm like we're not going to spend a lot of time doing that, even though some people have that struggle of like, "What do I watch tonight?" I'm just going to immediately go to something. It's like, "Yep, this is how I feel about it." I feel like I'm lucky in that instance, just because like this would be really overwhelming for a lot of people. So that is interesting. But anyway, that's like asking what you should eat for dinner. They're all saying hey to everybody. Definitely the TV person in the on the offline right now, or just in general. Yeah, I wish I was more of a TV person, but there's so many shows to watch. Like I have over here, I'm looking at The Wire and The Sopranos and Twin Peaks, and I've seen episodes of each of those shows, but I haven't seen the whole thing. And I just need to catch up. And those are old shows. And now there's all these new shows happening. Like the only ones I can keep up with are like I Think You Should Leave, Always Sunny, the 15, 20-minute comedies. Like I can keep up with that. And that's what I like. So it's really interesting how that works. Let's see. K-Man says, didn't have the best relationship with my mom, but she did teach me how to, movies can be an escape. So I saw a lot of things growing up, like a young age, like Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down, Kramer versus Kramer. I still need to see Kramer versus Kramer. That's one movie I've been wanting to watch. Let's see. Davey says I'll have to be the music person in my life too. I do a film video and not music uploads this week. I'm also the music person in my life, but I am a snob when it comes to music, and I try not to get that route. Luckily, I think a lot of you see a lot of the positive side of things from me, at least in terms of movies, because I am pretty open with movies. That actually asks, I could prompt to ask everybody here too. What about you? Like, are you like, if you like, how you are with movies, are you pretty open? Are you a little bit more critical? With music, I am very critical. I'm less open. But with movies, I'm the opposite. It's very strange how that works, but record stores really do that to you. Anyway, we can talk about music in a second too if people want to. But let's see. People are just saying, I Think You Should Leave. Yeah, so do I. Everyone should watch I Think You Should Leave because it's it's just utter chaos, and it's beautiful, and I'm glad that it exists, and I rewatch it over and over and over again. Yeah, so here we are. Let's see. Goose is here. Hey, Goose, how are you doing, man? It's good seeing you. And says, Caveman says, I'm missing out on The Wire. I know. I'm getting there eventually. I just have to finish these other box sets, right? And finally watch one of these things. So, Kasparov says that I think you should leave skit about the reality show and the zip line made me have trouble breathing laughing. Oh man, yeah, he's on that zip line the whole time. It's like, do you want to be here? I don't know. We could just go whole ham. Actually, let's talk about TV for a second. Actually, that's interesting. Best new TV show the last year is Severance. I still need to see it. In fact, I'm still bumming HBO. I'm waiting if HBO is going to do the Netflix thing where they're going to just cut people off who are using other people's accounts. That'll be really interesting. So, okay, so let's do the last giveaway real quick, and then we'll jump back into the comment section and talk about other things real quick. So I'll be giving away Heat right here. So of course I gave Thelma and Louise earlier to Jacob, who I'll be messaging. And so we're going to be doing this. I have 54 people here in the comment section. So if you want to be a part of these giveaways again, obviously, I think I might want to change this in the future to where maybe I have one giveaway from all the comment sections together from the non-live videos that I do, and then maybe I should do a live stream of here. But it would be kind of hard to do with how many people are coming in. I'd have to figure it out how that works. But I think next time I'm going to be doing a giveaway. Maybe I can do some kind of question. I know that Ryan does that sometimes for giveaways. I might do that this next time. I think that's the route I might want to go. Let me know what you think. If you enjoy these live streams, and if you want to be a part of like a live giveaway live stream. I'm trying to figure out how to say it, but anyway, doing this live stream again. We have number 43. I don't know if you can see it. 43, because there's a little bit of a glare. Number 43 is Jay Howard. He's actually a friend of mine here in Springfield. So that lucked out really weird. But there are only 2 people on this list who are actually in Springfield where I live. So Jay, I know you're not watching it right now, but I will be giving Heat to you. I hope you have a 4K player. But with that being said, with giveaways, I think it would be really fun to do kind of a culmination of one thing I'd be giving away as the non-live videos, and then at the time I do a live stream, I do a live giveaway. I think that would be a lot of fun. So but yeah, I want to start interacting more and more with you as a community. I don't do live streams that often, so it's not something that I am super big on, but I want to start doing it once a month, and that's what this whole entire journey is. So I like interacting with a lot of you, and luckily I've been able to meet a lot of you in real life. So anyway, going back to the chat, we've been talking TV. Best new TV show is Severance. I'm strangely always open to everything. This is what this Vampire Heart says. I'll say I'll watch and listen to almost anything at least once. That's a really good mindset, and I think I'm the same way. Honestly, I hope a lot of you are out there as well. If it strikes you, you might check it out at least once. Obviously, there's probably exceptions there, but that's just how it goes. Let's see. Ronnie says, "Me too. I absolutely judge people on their musical taste, but not so much TV and movie tastes." I'm glad I'm not the only one out there. I judge pretty harsh on music, and I'm kind of notorious for that in the office because people will be playing, like, I'm trying to think of something that has been played over, like last week they were playing Soldier Boy, like, that, which came out in like the mid 2000s, which, that song's fun. You can watch it and listen to it with other people, but then they kept replaying it over and over again. I'm like, okay, move on. I don't want to listen to this ever again. That's kind of how it felt. But anyway, let's see. Kasparov says my favorite showbiz, Flight of the Conchords. Oh, Flight of the Conchords is incredible film. Our show, man, geez, I'm just off of it. But yeah, great show. I'm glad I have the DVDs are over there somewhere. I can see the box set with I think they're that one like live performance that they did as well. Alex Weaver says, was with my family and got asked a few new recommendations. I suggested All Quiet on the Western Front, made them watch the trailer. It was my 10-year-old birthday's 10-year-old niece's birthday party. They didn't get the appeal. Then you get water. That made me laugh too hard. Okay, so we're back. So Goose says the last recommendation I gave to some normies was hilarious, and I thought it was widely appealing. Intolerable cruelty, and he came back and said they hated it. I don't know what people like anymore, nor do I. I was mentioning Asteroid City earlier. I was talking to a friend who had seen a lot of Wes Anderson movies, and for some reason they just didn't like Asteroid City. But that's a hard movie to recommend to people unless you're a Wes Anderson movie fan, like we were saying earlier in the chat. You're not going to like it, right? That's just kind of how it goes. But yeah. But let's see. K-Man says, "Where is your house? Where in your house is your library?" This is actually my master bedroom right here. And are you talking about books? If you're talking about books, then that's out in the living room. So, but when it comes to movies, it's got its own space. I don't need a big space for me to live in. So this is in the master bedroom because I have way too many movies, which is going to be a problem eventually one day. So let's see here. Going back to the chat, where I'm a music snob, but not a genre snob. I love everything, but from oldies to hardcore metal. I just love movies more subjective when it comes to what makes them good. Yeah, me too. I think that's how I go. So, Ted Lasso from Davey, season 2 hits hard. I've been wanting to watch some Ted Lasso sometime soon too. But yeah, it's a struggle getting all these different streaming services because I feel like there's a lot of them that are like it's becoming the new cable, of course. I don't want to harp on things that everyone knows, but like I don't even have the Criterion channel anymore because I just don't have the money to just keep doing that. Even though I support Criterion, of course, still buy the discs a lot of the times. So with that being said, the last thing that Davey says, when people aren't like us, it's hard to recommend 1960s Soviet cinema with a subtle allegory about dictatorship. Yeah, it's a little bit hard to recommend that kind of stuff. So as we're kind of wrapping this up, I think we're going to do this for another 20 minutes or so. I just want to kind of hang out with a lot of you. Let me know about some recommendations about like how to do these live streams, because I a lot of the times, like I said, I don't really do these live streams. I'm much more, if I have a plan going in, I have an idea of the video I like to make. But these live streams, I'd like to hear your thoughts on like kind of the giveaways side of things, and also just some of the things that best engages with you, because I know a lot of you like to watch live streams yourself or even have your own live streams. It'd be interesting to kind of hear your thoughts on what you engage with best, but also at the same time I have to think about how I engage as well, right? So that's just kind of how that goes. But with that being said, give me some prompts of some questions you might have for me. But right now we've been talking a lot about the question and prompt series that have come back, which has been a lot of fun, just interacting with a lot of you. I think I'm going to try to do this a couple times each month, and then at the end of the entire month, we're going to do a live stream, and we're going to, like what we're doing right now, and we're going to be doing a giveaway. So that's just kind of how, like, what we do it. So anyway, going back to the chat, not a fan of Bird Notice. I haven't seen Bird Notice. I've seen a few episodes. I have seen Psych, which is I'm on USA. That was like the only show that I really cared about at the time. I remember growing up, at least in that time period, in the 2000s. At least I was in my teenage years, and that was when I was watching a lot of those shows. But never really watched Bird Notice, so I don't really have an idea with it. Movies with Ryan says just wing it and interact with the chat, which is what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to interact with people, but the chat keeps fluxing, people coming in and out, and that's just kind of how it goes. But let's see. I've never done a live stream. I end up losing my subs after telling them how terrible they are. I definitely don't go that route, but it might just be the Scott in you, So let's see. Caveman says I recommended it earlier in the chat. I'm sorry, I missed that. But yeah, I need to watch Burn Notice, honestly. I'm assuming you're talking about the show, of course. So there's that. But yeah, no, there's a lot of shows I need to just catch up on. So yeah, but other than that, I've been really enjoying trying to watch as much as possible right now and trying to save up on money as well. Although I did just get a new tattoo. And that really hurts. So if anyone is not familiar, I'll just do this real quick, just briefly. If I can even show it. You can see it. I got Black Phillip from The Witch on my shin, and that was really painful. If you want to see it in a better picture, go to Instagram and you'll find it there. And yeah, but it hurt quite a bit. But it looks gorgeous. I love it. I love The Witch. And so this is actually, oddly enough, my first movie tattoo, which is absolutely insane because I'm covered in tattoos and I just never picked up and thought about, you know what, I'm going to get a movie tattoo. The first one I got was Black Phillip from The Witch, which is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. So we'll see how my work feels about it, because luckily I can wear, t-shirts and things like that. But a lot of them, I'm in Southwest Missouri, so you can take a hint. If they see a goat on my shin and see what they think. They'll probably be like, what's going on here? Little do they know. Anyway, let's see. Going back here, Brian says live streamers are super good for connecting with your subscribers. A simple giveaway is cool, but I really think it is connection like you are doing in the chat that strengthens your channel. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I definitely am trying my best to trying to interact with all of you in the best way I can possible. I'm really busy just in general. And I know a lot of you are as well. Everyone has a crazy schedule for themselves. But for me, it's like the best thing I can do for the most part is to schedule some videos, like 1 or 2 a week, and then occasionally do a live stream like this. So, but I really appreciate all of you stopping by here, because like this is really special for me, because I like interacting with you as well. I'm a very social person, even though I am an introvert. Probably people don't probably see that, but years of teaching public speaking did that for me, where I can change and look like I'm actually a lot more energetic and talk with people live in front, face to face. But anyway, going back here, Davey says, Philip, yes, here he is again. If anyone missed it, there's Black Phillip. He's saying hi. He's got an apple down there too. But yeah, let's see. Did you have that last week? I only had the outline, Ryan. So for little of you people who didn't know, I actually met Ryan, movies with Ryan, and I also was with KB in a Fish the Film Collector. I was with Bob's Blu-rays and Tim Talks Talkies. We all met in St. Louis, and that was an absolute blast. Meeting them all for the first time, except for KB. I've seen him multiple times. I interact with him quite a bit. I also saw Disconnected Ryan, who I hope was still here. I'm glad I got to see you for a little bit, for a second before we did that. But yeah, I really, going back to Ryan, I did not have this color. This was just colored in yesterday. I actually had the outline of it done quite some time. No, well, I guess a couple months ago. So I finished that, and I'm trying to finish my arm right here, because I have a lot of tattoos here that I need to finish up. So Ronnie says it's actually a very depressing time to be a TV fan right now. So many shows are getting canceled, especially ones with queer and POC characters. It's made me turn to movies more and more. Yeah, it is sad, because I know that the strike is going on right now, and then also just all these deals and these corporations are just cutting a lot of things out, and it's just really sad. Don't want to be a downer, but at least I guess the only positive thing I can think of is at least we're focusing on maybe kind of what we have, but not good for opportunities for people trying to, make a living, put out a representation, right? And just keep going, with exploring more of this thing we love, and I think that's really a really big deal. So like I said, I'm trying to put a positive spin on it, just trying to think about like, well, at least I have more time to watch the things that I have in here. But that doesn't help people who are working currently, right? And that's a big deal. So let's see. No Paddington tattoo. I am possibly getting a Paddington tattoo, but that is pending. So I'm still thinking about it. So, and the Caveman says your shin. I thought you were saying chin. Thank goodness it's not your chin. Yes, I know. Sometimes I actually shave my beard, so seeing a tattoo under there would be really weird. But yeah, I have both my shins done. Actually, I just finished it, and I have my calves as well. So the leg is a painful spot, but here we are. Let's see. Didn't know you liked The Witch. Yeah, the Witch. Yeah, you did, buddy. Should have said Shin Godzilla. I like it. Ronnie says, yes, live streams are a great way to build community. I really enjoy them. And then Ryan was like, oh, okay, that's what they thought. And then Caveman says, only recommendations on the live chat, I would say, would be the StreamYard, where you could show the chats on your screen, but I've never done it because I'm a caveman after all. I'm also a caveman, and I also wish that I could do StreamYard a little bit more, because I think you have to pay for it, maybe. And I would interact better probably that way. But like I said, I don't do this very often, so it I, it doesn't help as much, um, at least for me, because I feel like I wouldn't do it as much. But I do want to start interacting with you more, each, once a month, or maybe if there's something special going on, have a couple of more live streams. But that's just how things go. But yeah, no, it's fun talking about tattoos and music. I think that's other stuff that I don't really talk about on the channel very often. But yeah, I'm a big fan of both. It's a big part of my my identity, and so a lot of people just see me as a movie guy, which is a huge part as well. But it's definitely something that I wear on my sleeves, literally, you know. And tattoos are definitely a lot of fun. So with that being said, though, we're gonna do this for another like maybe 10 minutes or so. And I think what we can do is just have a few more questions, like as we're going along. Maybe any ideas for how we do this question and prompt series, like a live stream next time, because I would really like kind of some feedback here on this stuff, because I hope this was a good little live stream. Hopefully the people who were here enjoyed this, even though it's very random, and kind of all over the place. That's just how my brain works too. But let's see. Davey says, I stick with Zoom as I get paid for it by work. Yeah, I used to have Zoom and I used to get paid for it, but it doesn't work anymore. Caveman says StreamYard is free, but limited on your number of guests to 4 total people. And I know a lot of you, and I really want to do more live streams in the future. And maybe a guest would be really fun too. Maybe we could do a surprise guest next time on this live stream, and we can have more interaction through that. That would actually be a lot of fun. I think that'd be cool as well. But yeah, having the limited number of 4, it just depends on what it is. Let's see. Davey says, not lying about music. He'll play prog metal at you like crazy. I do throw a lot of prog metal at you because you told me you liked it. So I'm like, let me just give you a lot of different genres here. Yeah. Bristolian Dave, hey man, how are you? StreamYards is great if you want to make the live streams more technical. If you're looking at you're just generally chatting with your audience, this not necessary. Yeah, well, I think that's what the thing that I'm going to try to figure out was what works best for me. Because like I said, I don't live stream that often, but when I do, I want to make sure it looks right, and not have this like what we were doing earlier, where I was having technical difficulties with the YouTube live stream. I don't know why it wasn't letting me begin it, but I was able to schedule that. But I don't know. Caveman says Paddington 1 or Paddington 2 for your tattoo. Both. But yeah, Paddington 2 is, I think, a better movie. I'm excited for Paddington 3. But does anyone have any other questions for me? Just like random ones that they want to ask, just in general, or movie related, music related, tattoo related? That'd be really fun to ask kind of near the end of this whole thing. I appreciate all the feedback as well, everyone who's talking about StreamYard and kind of what would be the best practice going forward for these live streams. And also the best thing for giveaways too. I think I might go the route next time for the giveaways as a collective of all of the comments from those non-live videos, and then doing a live giveaway as we're doing this right now, and this randomly select you. And I would have to figure out the logistics of that. I think maybe doing a question and the first person to answer it might get the thing, and I think that would be a lot of fun. Okay. Goose says, my only suggestion to improve live stream would be to try to fit a hot tub in there. Something tells me the sub count would skyrocket. It would skyrocket if I somehow could put some kind of just loungy looking thing in here. It's definitely just a closet. It's nothing special. It looks a lot prettier in this picture than it actually is in real life. It's definitely an appeal there, but that would be a lot of fun. Ronnie says, any recent vinyl buys? Yes, I did buy some vinyl recently. I actually saw the band Pallbearer, who is from Little Rock, so not too far away from me. They were here in Springfield on Friday, and I got a record from them, their last record. And then I also recently picked up, I'm trying to think, the last vinyl pickups that I got. I feel like I got a Kamasi Washington double album not too long ago. And then I also got, now I'm blanking right now, and it feels bad. Oh, there was a really good record of Townes Van Zandt. There's a good cover record from a lot of bands that I like Cave In. It's just an old band that just got back together, but they do a lot of Townes Van Sant covers, and it's really good. I really really love it. So, but yeah, Paul Bearer, Kamasi Washington, and Townes Van Sant covers. So if you want to get a little bit, there's a spread of all the different things I have. I enjoy a lot of different types of music, and I think I even picked up some more Wu-Tang more recently as well. So I'm all over the place. Let's see. Caveman says, I don't know. There was homework involved in a giveaway, but I'm not, not here for your giveaway, my friend. Well, I really appreciate it, man. And a lot of the times, for giveaways, I just want to, show that I care about all of you guys, and I want to, give back as well. I'm definitely a giver, and so that's. But in general, I just want to hang out and be here with people, and that's what matters to me, So, with that being said, Davey says Sam turned me to Paul Bearer. I cannot talk. I'm glad he did, because Sam and I have very similar tastes in music. So, but yeah, Paul Bearer is an incredible doom metal band. If anyone is not familiar, they sound like Black Sabbath, but like 10-minute long songs. They're really really good. And I definitely recommend listening to them. And then Townes is awesome. Yeah, Townes Van Sant. You can't go wrong with that. Any covers as well are really good too. So yeah, check out Townes Van Sant Volume 3, I think is what it's called. There's like songs of Townes Van Sant, I think is what the record's called. But you can find it on Spotify or Apple Music. But all right, so as we're wrapping this up, I just want to say thank you all for being here, for people popping in and out. I appreciate everybody who has stopped by to check this out. Hopefully next time I won't have some technical difficulties. I'll have a little bit more structure, but also more of a hangout vibe as well, kind of trying to balance that a little bit and getting all this together. So yeah, this was a lot of fun, and I hope a lot of people enjoyed this stream. Like I said, I don't do this very often, so it definitely feels a little bit all over the place for me and my mind, and so that's just kind of how I feel about it. So I appreciate all of you coming by and stopping. I hope everyone enjoyed their time here, and congrats to Jacob and my friend Jay for getting these discs. I'll be sure to give these out to them soon. I'll message them and go from there. So anyway, as we're saying goodbye to everybody, let's see. Caveman says Mammoth, strong recommendations. I appreciate it, man. Oh, is it Mammoth? Are you recommending Mammoth? Is that what you're saying? Or just saying I had good, strong recommendations? That's what I'm asking. Davey says, cheers. Nate, I love you. I love you too, buddy. I'm glad to see you here, man. Caveman says, great stream. Ronnie is like the randomness. I'm a random person, so that's just kind of how it is. And then Brian says, well done, sir. See you again. And Holland says, take care. Keep jonesing around. I think that's a good way to end it. Thank you so much for watching this, everybody. I think Holland already said it. Going from there. But Caveman, thank you for getting that. Mammoth, Wolfgang Van Halen. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Anyway, I really appreciate all of you stopping by and going to this live stream and for the question and prompt series. It's been fun. It's been fun, and I hope everyone enjoys the weekend. Hopefully, some of you have the 3rd off. I don't, but I have the 4th off, so we'll be going there and enjoys the holiday and gets to spend time with family and friends and all that stuff. If you're in the States, of course, which eventually I might not be. One day, I don't know, we'll see. But anyway, I appreciate everyone for stopping by, and I will see everyone next time. I'm not jonesing around.